Hello, 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 and welcome back to Kim Talks Resilience. I'm your host, Kim Hayden, and I am super grateful that you're taking a few moments to join us today. Gratitude, gratitude. That's what we're basically going to be talking about today. And how do you show your gratitude? It's interesting in this world, digital world of online businesses, and everybody's looking for the best hook to get you in the door, or what's the next thing you can sell, or what's your lead capture item. We forget that there's actually still a tangible world out there. There's still the primary senses, your touch, taste, look, feel, olfactory. Everything's here, but a lot of this doesn't translate through the traditional or the non-traditional space of communications, which is becoming our traditional space. Digital is becoming traditional, and the tactile, it's snail mail. These are becoming the non-traditional, and yet when somebody has to touch something physically, it stays with them. It's a very fascinating. There's study after study after study where they've had students in universities who will take all their exam notes throughout a semester on their laptop or on an iPad. And when it comes to pop quiz time, they do not perform as well as the people who have been given pen and paper and told that that's how they're going to do all their notes. So let's talk pen and paper, attitude of gratitude. We have got Betty Lee here, a fellow former real estate agent. So you've been in the trenches, Betty Lee. So and now she's moving to a more peaceful Zen, bringing it in vibe of gratitude. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Kim. And I especially appreciate our common background of being award-winning realtors. And I do want to say that with my, I was always very creative too. Which segues to my business now, but I also remodeled 5 homes in San Francisco to make them beautiful again. And now I retired from real estate, and my business is unique watercolor cards. And as you said, I want to bring back the tradition of people to write thank you notes again. Show your gratitude, because a problem today is, as you said, too many people get too many emails and mass mailings, and I want to save entrepreneurs money in mass mailings and get better than a 2% return, and have people remember you, that you can send your memorable message to your VIPs with the note you create, whether those VIPs are in business or for personal use at a much less cost than a store-bought card, and much more unique.
Well, it has a story behind it. I have, back where I'm from, Wichita, Kansas, my godmom or adopted godmom. I had a godmom, and then they moved, and then I got a second godmom out of the deal. And her sister was hit in a bicycle vehicle accident and became a quadriplegic, but then became like a super famous stick art painter. And so
Wow.
she made they took her artwork and turned it into cards. And it's the story behind the cards often that really it's just it becomes a layer, a story within a story. So, but you could be retired, but you've chosen to launch a new business that is a tactile, real world product, but your business is an online business. So you've
Ye-
got, so walk me through that process of deciding you want to do this when you could just be out golfing.
Yes, well, it was my hobby. Actually, it was my hobby painting these abstract watercolor cards when I was still doing real estate. And in fact, I think I mentioned I got VIP thank you notes from President Obama and President Carter for my unique watercolor cards. So people seem to like them. So then I thought, well, gee, I'm retired. I would like, yeah, my passion and purpose now, as I said, is to save entrepreneurs money in mass mailings and get a much more successful result. And for other people, just personally to connect. And the reason it's an online business is actually two reasons. One is I like to travel a lot. I do volunteer work too. So this is an easy business that people can just download, create your own cards with my images. I don't have to ship any inventory, which frees me up.
Oh,
For,
so the images are online, so you can print them
yeah,
out yourself?
yes, you can download, print out these images, um, uh, cut and paste onto cards, which you can get on Amazon. I have a minute and a half instructional video on about, and if you don't have time, which I understand, you can delegate this to assistants, or in my case, I delegated to my neighbor's son, teenage son. I sent out 100 cards. I printed the images for him, and he cut and paste. I paid him 40 cents a card for 100 cards. He made $40. He was happy as a clam. I was super happy because it saved me a ton of time. And I just spent 5 minutes writing each note, and I sent out 100 notes and made 100 people happy. So
Amazing. And I
they
think
were
that's,
thank notes.
and
Yes.
I think that that's important. I know that there are several top real estate coaches, very top coaches, um, that talks about this sending out cards. My personal favorite real estate coach, which my personal favorite is Brian Buffini. He's hilarious and he's personable and he's all about bringing back the personability and the gratitude. And he talks specifically about this is get some cards, and send them out. When you go and get a great coffee at a Starbucks, have a card so you can leave a card or you can mail a card to that location for your barista who did a great job. It's twofold. They see you, you can put your business card inside it. They see you as somebody who is a positive mind, and then their boss sees that somebody really valued what they did, and you've got your business card out there as a nice human being. So, I mean, I love the whole concept of paying it forward. Um, what are some tips you have for people that it feels that it could be a little time consuming, even if hypothetically I went online. Let's say I downloaded one of your images. So I paid and I've downloaded, and then I'm going to take that and instead of printing it out, cutting it putting it on a card, I've decided I want to have it printed by one of the companies that does like wedding invitations. So you can get a real quality linen, beautiful card. So now I've got like 30 of these, and I've got to go out and I've got to ensure that I'm getting these to people, because a lot of people buy stuff and then they never do anything with it. What is your tip around actually getting a card in the mail?
I want to confirm what your coach said. A successful broker tells his agents to just write 5 notes a day. One of his agents wrote a thank you note to her stylist. A customer saw it and she got a big sale. So this really works from one note. I mean, so 5 minutes, really, just write 5 cards a day. Don't stress yourself. Okay, and you can, the other thing, to addressing your question, like, is it time consuming or whatever, I created a new product, 2 new bookmarks, instant download. They're mini works of art. You can write your message at the back, give it to book lovers, or fun, inexpensive gifts to anyone. So, people will remember you because they read books, or, so.
Well, and what a great accompaniment. We're seeing more and more people who are getting published, which is very cool. And because more people are getting published, the cost of being published is coming down. It's more in line. So people are able to share their stories. So, I mean, what an amazing thing is if you have this custom bookmark in your book, in your story. So when you're meeting with people, they see your authority in the book and they see your gratitude through this custom piece of art, right? That I can see how that would really partner well with all these authors that are coming out, right? So what an amazing you know and it's just being open. I think that's the best thing. Is don't forget the traditional. I apologize, folks, I do not have any exact numbers here. I may be wrong on these statistics, but if I recall correctly, the average snail mail will have somebody's attention for 2 to 3 minutes minimum. An average email has less than 71 seconds in total, where people will read it, skim it, scan it, and then move on. The real value of snail mail is I have to touch it. I have to touch it. In our real estate, my son and I are still in real estate together. And in our real estate, we still hand deliver 1,000 door hangers every month.
Wow.
Because first of all, it's good exercise. It's cheaper than going to the gym. Second of all, it gives us a vehicle to announce different things. We do kindness and community initiatives 4 times a year, where we're either hosting an event for the community or we're doing something to pay it forward, like a food drive or a drive for one of our women's shelters or something like that. And in doing this, everybody goes, well, why don't you just put it on a postcard? It's so much easier to just put it in the automated mail. And I said, I'll tell you why. It's because when that door hanger is on somebody's door, they got to take it off the door. They got to walk it through their house before it gets to the garbage can. So they are touching my door hanger for at least a few minutes. Whereas if it's just if it's just a postcard in itself and it's just going in a, like one of those jumbo mailboxes we're seeing in all the communities. A lot of communities no longer do mail right to the front door. Then what happens is it just goes right into the garbage right there. And that's the difference between having an envelope. If you send something, send it in an envelope, because an envelopes that took work, that took time to send a card. But yeah, it's everybody is inundated. I do not door knock. I'm letting everybody know I do not door knock, have never door knocked, will never door knock, because especially in today's world, if you don't show up with the skip the dishes bag, everybody assumes you're selling them something. So, yeah, don't door knock. Send them a card. Send them a card. Absolutely. So let's talk about a story of resilience. Can you share a time in your journey, a story of resilience that either helped you navigate to this point or gave you a life lesson that you had to learn and push through to get to this point?
Yes. As I said, I was an award-winning real estate broker for 20 years in San Francisco. I was married for 31 years to my late husband, who had 4 cancers, and he didn't work for 20 years. So I supported us, not only in selling real estate, but also, as I mentioned, in remodeling 5 homes to make them beautiful again. I am Chinese. I was born year of the horse, and people born in this year are hardworking and loyal. So I guess that bears it out in my story. And thank God also for the remodeling, because prices in San Francisco went up quite a bit. So besides being creative and making them beautiful, we never flipped them. We actually lived them for 4 to 5 years for capital gains. But anyway, getting back to my husband, he never complained. He always had a good sense of humor. And so when he didn't have treatments, we, from my earnings and also from refinancing the equity in our property, in our home, we would go on trips to Hawaii or Mexico and have a good time, have fun. And his sense of humor really carried us through the ups and downs. So that is my story of resilience. And I have another more direct story to tell as it relates to my business.
Absolutely. Go for it.
Okay. Well, when I was in real estate, I always worked for a name brand, a national broker, because of the name recognition. Would get more business, and each was a franchise. Well, one broker, I had to spend $4,000 a year in mass mailings. Okay, $1,000 every quarter. Like yourself, 1,000 didn't do door knockers, but scratch pads to 1,000 homes. So that cost $1,000, $4,000 a year, whether we got any sales or not. Now, of course, if you get 1 or 2 sales, it's totally worth it, especially in San Francisco. But I want to save other entrepreneurs that pain, because it's expensive. Mass mailings are expensive. And what kind of return do you get? 2%? That's about average. was a handwritten note. I will, if I get in the mail a handwritten note, I will keep that. The rest, hey, like you said, that just gets tossed. It's mass mailing. So I will keep that. Now, it's not only me, my investment advisor, she, after opening an account, Edward Jones, I'll give them a free plug, she wrote me a handwritten note with 3 business cards, asked me to refer my friends, but because she sent me a handwritten note, I kept it. And I will definitely refer her business, because if people toss your mail, right, they don't even remember who you are. How are they going to do business with you? How are they going to give you referrals? So that is, as you said, a handwritten note that expresses gratitude. And it's your personal, even though you take my images, it's your personal card. And trust me, it takes only 5 minutes to write a note. And I think I shared with you, right? The broker, another successful broker, asked his agents to handwrite 5 notes a day. And one agent sent a thank you note to her stylist, and a customer saw it, and she got a big sale. I love your story about the Starbucks baristas too, because people need to be acknowledged. And I sent 100 thank you cards, not necessarily to get business out of it. I sent thank yous to coaches, my primary care physician, my former broker, friends and family, anybody that helped me along the way, and I want to acknowledge and thank them.
I completely agree. We get maybe a few Christmas cards, maybe a bit, I mean, our snail mail, and think about it this way: by sending a card through the mail, you're helping a postal worker, because our postal services, both in Canada and the United States, right now is being jeopardized. Right? It doesn't have the revenue to support it. So, by sending a card, you help support, an accessible form of communication. Right? So I love that. So let's talk real quick books. What is a book you recommend to people, and why is it important?
I really like Deepak Chopra's 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, where if you do certain things on a certain day, you get better results, more success. And I will quickly summarize for you the 7 days. Monday's a law of giving. Tuesday's a law of karma that can affect long-term results. Okay, so we're doing it on Tuesday, maybe, and I also have some business tips for fledgling entrepreneurs or established entrepreneurs that I hope to share later. So I hope I'm bringing value or having some long-term result. Wednesday's law of least effort. Thursday, law of intention. Friday, law of detachment. I often take Fridays off. You might agree because we had to work weekends, right?
Yep. Yep.
Saturday is law of Dharma, your highest purpose. And Sunday is the law of pure potentiality, the highest potential. Now, some things you do can fit in one day. If you don't get it done, your law of giving on Monday, maybe you'll do it on Thursday, the law of intention. So
Yeah.
anyway, it's a really thin book, very worthwhile reading. And I've just summarized for you if you don't want.
Well, we'll have all that information in the show notes. Can you tell us, so you had mentioned before we started that you had some strategies and ideas around building business, and then you, with this book, it kind of all starts tying together your approach. If you were to give one strategy or one idea or one word of advice to young entrepreneurs, because just because, folks, we are in our 50s, 60s, and 70s, it does not mean that our understanding of business has lessened or that it is of no value. We have thousands of relational experiences, and there's a fact behind, there is a reason behind the term. Your net worth is in your network. Again, your net worth is in your network. And networks that are personal, tangible, touchable, engageable are going to be stronger typically than they will be through the whims of that online influencing space. I'm not saying throw out your online business. Betty Lee and I both have online businesses. We get it. But we also, I network 2-3 times a week. I am out. I am talking to people. I am hand delivering. I am there. I am present. So we still have a lot that we can serve. Betty Lee, let's drop the mic on this. Give us one word of wisdom, one word of advice that you would share that you think every entrepreneur listening to this needs to do. Just one thing.
Do 3 actions a day that will either move your business forward or make the cash register ring. This is, from Sandra Yancey, CEO of eWomen Network. So I do have some other time-saving tips real quick.
Awesome. Share. Time-saving tips real quick. Go for it.
Yeah. 3 things. One is we all have a do list. I put M, S, or C next to each item. Must do, should do, could do. I do my 3 must do's first, then reprioritize. Sometimes I'll take 20 minutes, do a whole bunch of easy ones first. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is do what you do best and let someone else do the rest.
Do what you do best and let someone else do the rest. That is a great quote. That should go on a bag or on a poster in front of my computer. It's because I'm not very good at delegation, because I get frustrated and I just want to run and get it done. But learning delegation is so critical to being able to scale your business.
Exactly. And I gave you the example of how I delegated creating the cards for my neighbor's teenage son. Hey, you can delegate to virtual assistants, your teenage children, your assistants, whoever. You don't need to create those cards. Okay, so anyway, that's very important. Do what you do. And the third thing is have a day off once a week, especially for those and women struggle more with this life work balance. have a day off. Have fun with your family
Yep.
and friends, or do self-care. Because if you are really frazzled, can you be creating? Can you be thinking clearly? What are you working so hard for? For your family, friends, or for yourself, right? So take a day off, have some fun, renew the thought. That's also Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Okay,
So
so you have dropped quite a few great names in mentorship and coaching and thought leadership. So give me a few more of the people that you really say that we need, because okay, we got one book out of you, but we've also heard 3 other coaches in here. Can you give us a couple more names of people that you follow and you say are ones that we should actually invest some time into or listen to?
I just finished taking Mary Morrissey's Dream Builder course. I highly recommend it. I'll give you a 5-minute synopsis. She says, do what you love and the money will follow. What is your dream? Your dream in 4 areas of your life: health, relationships, business, money, and time freedom. What would you really love? What do you want? What is the life that you love gonna look like? And she says, maybe you have a childhood dream that's gotten clouded over with circumstances. Take 3 actions. Without action, nothing's gonna change. And visualize 10 minutes a day as if the result you want has already happened. And but if you're working a job, you want to start a business or whatever, do what you can from where you are. Just take a step and don't worry about failure. There's no such thing as failure. It's only feedback. And also, if you wait till you have all your ducks in a row, you'll never get started.
Yep. If you wait for it to be perfect, it will never happen. You all are, you'll probably like this, Betty Lee. Do you know the definition, the absolute definition, Webster's definition of the word perfect?
What is it?
Finite, complete, nowhere left to go. The day I am perfect will be the day I'm in my grave. Every other day is a day of progress, ladies. Every other day is a day of progress. So don't wait for perfect. Go for progress. Progress over perfect every day wins the race.
Oh, she recommended one other thing: to have a mastermind group, maybe twice a month. Or if you have no time for that, have a partner in believing. Someone who believes in you when you may not believe in yourself or your dream or your goals, give you ideas, and most importantly, hold you accountable. Her course is online. It's very reasonable. I never go for these really expensive trainings. The other course that I feel worth mentioning is Marcy Shimhoff's Year of Miracles. And that one I have, besides their excellent coaching, she has a team of coaches, but famous coaches. I have a group. We meet every 2 weeks and we share our wins and our intention for the next 2 weeks, what our action is. Remember, everybody, action is the key. And we send each other, we supercharge each other's intention. And that both have worked well. These two courses, which don't, which are only a few $100s, has helped my health, relationships, my business, and I already have time, money, freedom. So, to do my spirituality. So anyway, so I hope those are
That's
helpful for
those
you.
are amazing. We're gonna have those all in, and I you know what? I'm gonna be talking to Betty Lee about having some great downloads. So you got to put all. We're going to transcribe some of this, and you're going to get it into your website because there's just so much here, and I know that right now there is food scarcity, there's housing scarcity, there is financial scarcity. There's so much scarcity out there right now. And if you're listening to the show, my goal is that you continue to grow, that you feel secure, that you know that there is somebody that has walked the path before you. And um, when we're talking about a day off, day offs don't have to cost money. You don't have to spend money. You can spend that time, taking a walk. You can, you know, choose to bake something or make a meal or spend a little extra time. Some people like to organize. Go organize your closet. And if your closet's already organized, ask your girlfriend if you can go organize hers. By the way, if anybody's looking to organize anybody's closet, I will be your girlfriend. Come on over. And if you organize my closet, I'll even hide a bed for you. So everybody, your website, Betty Lee, we can find you on LinkedIn at Unique Watercolors, and also on your website, uniquewatercolors.com. I always like to close out the show with a quote. And the reason being is, and if this is your first time to Kim Talks, the reality is I want to give you food for your brain, something healthy, something that's beyond all the fodder that is out there on social media that's clogging us up. And the reality is that unfortunately, some of the biggest cloggers on social media are uh, consumers. They're looking for a reaction. They're dumping negativity out there. So we are working to counter this by only doing positivity. So Betty Lee, please share your quote and then tell us why this quote is important.
Okay, I will share my quote, and more importantly, 5 more minutes of tips for people who lack money for their business. So I think that's kind of important. But my quote is, conduct yourself in a calm manner and do things in an orderly fashion with a smile. A smile, that's a instant mood lifting, not only for you, but for people who see you. Costs nothing to give a smile, and it could make someone's day. And why do things in a calm and orderly fashion? Sure beats running around like you're chicken with your head cut off. And hopefully, with my 3 things the master should do, could do, which you can quickly prioritize, that will help you conduct yourself in a calm manner. And if I may have 5 minutes, Kim, I really would like to share tips for people who think they lack money for a business. Is that okay, Kim? Yeah.
Sorry, Betty, I already gave you the mic. It's all yours. Tell us.
Lack money. Okay, avoid focusing on lack, because the more you focus your attention on, that's more what you'll get. Lack. So this coach, Kathy Epley, and I listen to people's free workshops. You can gain nuggets without spending a lot of money. Anyway, she says, just like you said, Kim, you can have a wealth account by doing many fun, free things in your city. With free museum days, taking a walk in nature is free. Many fun, free things. And she also said the universe knows no order of difficulty. It is just as easy to make $100,000 as $100. All you have to do is ask for it, believe it is possible, and receive. And I want to give you a real life testimonial. Early in my career, I hadn't sold anything for 6 months, and my bank account was looking very slim. And I heard Kathy Epley at a free workshop, and she said to dream big, big, big goals. I did not even know what my dream was. I was just going around saying, dream big, big, big goals. Out of nowhere, a past client came whom I sold a condo to 2 years ago. And now's daughter graduated, wanted to buy a panel view home in Sausalito. She already found. Long story short, I sold 4.3 million in 1 month and made 100,000. So you don't have to sell real estate, but do dream big, big, big goals. And that's what I'd like to leave you with.
Excellent. Betty Lee, thank you so much. Again, in Betty words, do dream big, big goals. So dream big, go bigger. You can do this. We can do this. And like I said, if you're looking for a closet to organize and you love to clean, come to my house. I'm always open. Until next time, thank you for joining us here at Kim Talks Resilience.